Final segment of the Thursday edition of the Three Technique, and we've got two more breakout players for you, starting with Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback at LSU. Now, this is an interesting position that Nussmeier finds himself in, guys, because you're taking over for a Heisman quarterback, a guy that you sat behind in Jaden Daniels for 2 seasons, didn't test the portal either time, despite rumors that he would. But now it's finally his time. He's got a chance to take all that seasoning. I mean, he's just been on that low boil, right? Down there in Cajun country. And now he's got the chance to step into the limelight. He's got a big test in USC week 1, and then a real chance to take an LSU offense that, yes, is missing its big pass catchers from a season ago, but guys has a ton of talent stepping up behind the likes of Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. CJ Daniels transfers in from Liberty. He was a top pass catcher in the country last season. He's wearing purple and gold now. Mason Taylor at tight end. Kyron Lacey, who's quietly been a great number 3 wide receiver for LSU. He's a fifth-year senior, I believe, and ready to go. Nussmeier is going to have a great offensive line in front of him. Will Campbell might be the top tackle in the draft when it's all said and done, depending on how Kelvin Banks performs this year. But the pieces are set offensively. The questions for LSU, to me, are not on the offensive side, they're on the defensive side. And so while Nussmeier is certainly not the quarterback that Jaden Daniels was when he won his Heisman Trophy, I don't think he has to be that for LSU to be really good in 2024. He's certainly not the same player as far as mobility with his legs. He's athletic, but he's going to be your traditional pass from the pocket quarterback as opposed to Jaden Daniels, who as soon as he got the word go, he was running 80 yards down the field. So Nussmeier certainly has I think some learning and some growing to do as a starting quarterback. But guys, this offense is ready made for a quarterback of his caliber to step into. I think LSU is going to be fine offensively. It's really going to come down to, did their defense take any steps forward with Blake Baker coming in from Missouri? That's really what's curious to me, not the offense. I think LSU's offensive numbers are going to be just fine with Nussmeier at quarterback.
What a difference a decade makes, right? I remember when that was just flipped for the longest time, that we
Right.
knew LSU's defense was going to be good, but they could never find a quarterback. I think they've got a great one in Garrett Nussmeier. Obviously, the pedigree, the recruiting prowess that he had, and the hype that he had coming in as a recruit,
Yep.
and to, like you said, Mitch, not test the waters of the transfer portal. That is so rare in modern college football that you almost want to root for him just because of that he stuck it out, waited his turn, and now he's going to get his shot. I personally hope that it works out for him and that he gets rewarded for that. And I think that he's going to get, like you said, a really cool opportunity to have a big coming out party on national TV. Sunday standalone game. I don't see the USC defense stopping an LSU offense that even remotely close to what we saw on the field last year, unless they've made some drastic changes. So a really cool coming out party opportunity. And, obviously there's going to be a lot of new faces for LSU, but it does seem like it's going to be more of a changing of the guard situation than a tear it down and rebuild.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I think what you said is right. He's not going to be Jaden Daniels, but he doesn't have to be. That might ultimately limit LSU's ceiling for what they can accomplish this season, but it's not going to limit him on the field. They're going to be just fine on the offensive side of the football. And, kind of to that point of the open, yes, he gets to open against the USC defense and under the bright lights and all that. But then it goes Nichols at South Carolina, UCLA, South Alabama, not exactly world beaters, not exactly these massive teams where you're really nervous. So you kind of let him get his feet underneath him, establish some chemistry. Yes, there's going to be some bright lights on those. Like everyone's going to be tuning in for a lot of these games, but it's not going to be, this awful challenge, at least to start the season. He does play Ole Miss the next game after that, so it will, kind of heat up quickly after that. But by that point in the season, you got the half the season under you. You should be feeling good about it. So I really like this pick. I think he's plenty talented. The one thing I'm curious about is, what does a pocket passer look like in that Brian Kelly LSU offense, right? We've seen it kind of in the past and what he's done, and sort of Notre Dame and all that. But I'm curious to see what a more pocket passer, a little bit less dynamic with the legs. Curious to see what that looks like.
I'm curious to see how the dynamic shifts, right? Jaden
Mhm.
Daniels is able to get them out of so many tight spots, right, and just
Yep.
create magic out of thin air. This year, Nussmeier doesn't have that same explosiveness. Now, with that being said, the offensive line is very good. They did lose Lance Hurd to Tennessee, but like I said, I think LSU should be fine in the trenches. So they do have to go, I think, more traditional here, where it's straight up passing, straight up running game. They'll have a host of backs that compete for that job. But yeah, Nussmeier by himself in a vacuum, I think he's a very safe bet to really succeed this year.
Gracious him! How